Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Extreme Mediocrity Sports Show. As always, I am Kobe, and with me we have
Mike, what we got going on today, man? Should be
we
a good show
have
for us.
we have our very first special guest. We're doing something a little bit different today. We're going to get into
hmm
some golf,
I'm excited about this one.
and we have our special guest knows a lot about what's going on right now in golf, has
hmm
built a career around golf, and I think people are gonna want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, I
You know,
agree.
talking a little bit before we got on here, got a lot of great stories, and I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right, like we had just said, our special guest
Who do we
today,
have, man?
we have PGA of Canada Class A professional, the 2024 PGA of Manitoba Junior Leader of the Year, a junior golf coach, and member of JPT Coach Advisory Committee, Chris Gardner, PGA.
Welcome to the show.
Hey,
Welcome.
gentlemen, I can't thank you enough for having me on here today. It's definitely been a goal of mine to be on a podcast and seek that type of relationship. So I can't thank you guys enough. And you're doing a fantastic and a great job.
Appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
It's our
With the
pleasure.
episode.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, absolutely, boys. So thank you for having me.
No, we're glad you're here. It's people taking time out of their schedules and their lives to share some insight and stories with us. I think it's
Awesome.
going to be good.
Yeah, it's an art of storytelling
Yeah.
that us golf professionals tend to do. So I hope I can keep you entertained for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you will.
So like what first got you into golf? Like when did you realize like you wanted to pursue it like professionally?
Yeah, that's usually the number one question I think that we all get asked, to be honest with you. And I think 9 times out of 10, us golf professionals might have the same answer. And that always leads back to my father and grandfather introducing the game to me at probably around 6 years old, 7 years old, just giving me a club and having the opportunity to join them. Um, you know, grew up on a 9-hole public golf course, so access was never an issue. So very grateful that they introduced me at a young age and took me under their wing and being that young, um, I wasn't the greatest. So it took me quite a few years to progress. Up into my teens is where I started to see signs of flashes of brilliance, if you will. So definitely credit everything to my father and grandfather for introducing the game to me.
Sure. And I mean that's how I started too. I mean obviously we had two completely different uh like paths with the golf, but yeah, like being a kid, being out on the golf course. I think I was a little bit older. I was probably like 10, 11, but just going out there to the driving range, hitting golf balls, like just
Yeah, I remember. Actually, if I can give him a shout out, Jimmy Sturm was the club professional at one of the courses that I grew up on. He might not remember this, but I certainly do, and my father does as well. But he took an adult set of golf clubs and cut them down
mm,
to my height, just so I was able to play comfortably.
Oh
So,
wow.
things like that, it sticks with you, and it's your pathway. And yeah, it's nothing but appreciation on this end.
yeah. And like like I said, our paths are completely different. But like, what was your path from like being like learning the game to being an amateur to like professional golf?
Yeah, great question, Cope. So, like I said, started when I was about 6 or 7, but I didn't get good until my teens. So, saw those signs of good playing when I was about 13, 14, 15 years old. Started to get competitive into the junior golf scene when I was about that age, 14 and 15. Um, but what was probably the tip of the iceberg, or what kind of set bells off in my head, was qualifying for Team Manitoba, the junior team. Um, I believe it was 2005. I qualified shooting, I think it was 68, 80, 73, 73. So had some fantastic scores. I actually, in fact, shot a 30 on the front nine,
Oh,
and followed it up with a little bit of a shaky back nine at the age of 17 or 18, from my memory, is how old I was. So um, that really, really sparked everything. Um, from junior golf, I proceeded to amateur golf, where I did compete at the 2011 Ontario Amateur Championship,
Hmm.
and did have good enough scores there as well. I believe I came, I think it was 15th, 16th, or 17th place, but had good enough scores to turn into a PGA professional. And yeah, it was a rocket ship from there, basically. Um, that was the plain background. But if I can elaborate too educationally, I always knew I wanted to pursue the club professional gig, if you will.
yeah.
So I followed up with that good play by attending Niagara College and receiving a professional golf management diploma. And that really set me up for my future, basically, having those two birds, if you will, a good playing resume followed up with the educational aspect, really set me up for my future.
So in so you had a little bit of like a unconventional entry into professional golf. It seems that you were able to like work around Q school and trying to get
Yeah,
in that way with the education.
yeah. So, like, I did get lucky in that aspect. I mean, a lot of guys go to Q school. Some guys make it on their first try. Some guys make it on their 10th try.
Right.
Um, and that could be a pillar or a roadblock for some, that they can't get past that playing ability test. So I was very fortunate in having good results in that Ontario Amateur Championship. Played a lot of college golf for Niagara College, toured around and played competitive amateur golf as well. But that was really where I needed to shine, was at that Ontario Amateur Championship. And needless to say, I accomplished my life goal right then and
Yeah.
there. What was cool about that experience, the final round, I got to play with Mackenzie Hughes,
Mm.
who is now on the PGA Tour,
Yeah.
and a legend by the name of Gary Cowan, who has got an extensive playing resume all over Canada, basically. And then there was just little me that was with them. So it was a bittersweet experience for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So getting into like the mental and emotional side of everything.
Yeah, so I know you probably faced a lot of or had a lot of pressure on you at that time. Like, how did you handle a lot of that pressure that you faced during that time?
Uh, Being a little naive, probably.
Mhm.
Maybe not necessarily putting that much pressure on myself.
Mhm.
If anything, freed me up mentally and physically. Um, you know, it was definitely a father son kind of goal, And if I can give credit to my father, who was a fantastic caddy in my amateur days, he kept me very calm while playing on the golf course, or whether it was talking off of the golf course. He definitely influenced me that way. Yeah, I knew I had good enough scores and a good enough resume to eventually turn professional. It was just a matter of when and how, basically. So, yeah, finding out that, with those good enough results, or that good enough result, just totally made my dreams basically come true in a sense. So, yeah.
And that's awesome to like realize that like early on into like pursuing that goal.
Right.
And not to knock off guys that are trying to get their status and their PGA status, but if I would have went to Q school or the playing ability test tournament, maybe I wouldn't have shot those good enough scores the first year or second year or third year. And maybe that would have discouraged me a little bit. And maybe that would have set off a mindset of maybe golf isn't, the right pathway, but sticking to it, being dedicated. And that meant, in my younger 20s, having a practice regiment, a tournament schedule, exercising daily, for the most part, trying to eat right as a young 20-year-old.
Yeah.
All those things definitely came into play back then when I wanted to accomplish this goal, for sure.
And it's awesome too that you were able to share that with your dad. Some of those moments, you said that he, caddied for you. Yeah, I know there was a lot of special moments there.
If I can, I'm sure he's going to watch us in the future, but there was one incident so from the Ontario Amateur Championship, I qualified for the Canadian Amateur Championship, which is equivalent to your US Amateur. We were playing one hole, and I was 1 under after, I think, 3 or 4 holes. And I saw my name on the leaderboard, which was kind of at the time. And we're on a par 3. I think it was hole 5 or hole 6. And he's looking at the yardage book and going through his notes. And, it's 150 yards, Chris, right to the pin. Perfect, Dad. Grab my 8-iron. Absolutely nuked it. It was the purest 8-iron. I still remember how it felt to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Purest 8-iron I've ever hit, right at the flag, and I went 20 yards over the green.
Wow.
And I instantly looked at my dad and went, what happened there?
Yeah.
And ended up making a double bogey and shooting a high score. And I remember, for that round, he was quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I might have been a little bit upset and hot. Not saying anything derogatory or
sure.
I didn't put him down.
Yeah.
There's definitely a little bit of a tension there. I just remember at dinner time, we laughed.
I'm sure those are moments you'll never forget. Those
and he was sorry. And what happened was we started on the back 9 first. So he was looking. So we're on hole 14 or 15. He was looking at the yardage book like we started on the front 9.
Oh, so it was the wrong hole.
And there was 2 identical par 3 on the front 9 and back 9. And he looked at the wrong one. And
I was just thinking, like, what are the chances, like, that the other hole was equivalent, like a par 3? Like, if it would have been a par 4 or a par 5, would have been like, oh, wait a minute, it's not 450 to the green right now.
Same type of yardage, identical yardage, identical looking hole, but different. And it's we can laugh about it now.
Right.
Yeah.
So what were some of the toughest moments that you had to face on your professional golf journey, and how were you able to cope with those tough moments?
I'd say, growing up in Northern Ontario, Canada is kind of a struggle in itself. I'm currently trying to figure out my next move within the golf industry. I've been here in Northern Ontario now for so long. I feel that it's time to turn the page basically and head down a different avenue within the golf industry, of course. But that is one of the roadblocks that I'm currently facing right now. And being from all the way up here in kind of a secluded area, kind of in the middle of nowhere, it's a battle for me mentally to get up and move away from everything that I know.
Yeah.
Whether it's the people or the community or just the atmosphere. So right now I'm definitely taking my time in my career to figure out, where the best fit is going to be next, and try not to rush in anything to where it's going to make me panic, if you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely one of the roadblocks to being a club professional is, a lot of us pros we're not in one club for 20 years or for
Right.
a long stints, long bouts, if you will. So there's a lot of transitioning that happens from year to year to year, whether it's every couple of years, every 5 years, every 10 years. So currently trying to find the next best big thing, basically.
Okay. As far as burnout, I know, especially with you, if you're thinking about all these things, the transition, did you face any burnout? And if so, what kept you going through all of that trials that you were going through?
Playing wise, I was telling Kobe earlier, as I get older, it seems as though the players that are succeeding and really elevating their game are getting a lot younger, and shooting a lot lower scores perhaps than they used to back in the 90s or 80s, if you will. So I find my competitiveness is starting to dwindle, if you will, but it's still there. Yeah, that sorry, Mike. Elaborate more on that question. Sorry.
So as far as like the burnout, if you have a lot going on, and especially like during this transition,
So
how do you handle or work through a lot of that burnout?
Yeah, burnout through playing. I mean, when I was in my younger 20s, again, trying to get competitive and trying to get good, I was playing and practicing every day. There wasn't a day where I missed a round or a practice session or anything like that. Now that I'm in my later 30s, there's definitely that burnout feel. There's definitely that not the light is dwindling, but I'd like to play for fun now.
Right.
Whether it's with members, students, juniors, what have you, the tournament aspect is starting to fade away, and the enjoyment is starting to ramp up a little bit more. So that's playing wise burnout. But even as a club professional, and I'm sure a lot of club professionals out there can attest to this, there is that burnout within the career aspect of it, working in the pro shop. Long here in Canada, Northern Ontario, it might be a little different where you fellas are, but we only have about 5 months of the year, 6 months of the year to really cram in some serious good golf. So a lot of us go hard, go hard until we can't go anymore. So that does, it does bring on a little bit of burnout, but at least we have the winter time to kind of put the golf clubs away and perhaps focus on our hockey sticks or football.
Right.
But, there is a little bit of burnout when you're trying to transition from, whether it's an assistant professional to an associate professional to a head professional. I know a lot of guys that make it so far in the career and then they're tapped out. So, I know speaking from experience, I know Kobe highlighted it in the intro, but even winning that 2024 PGA Manitoba Junior Award, I did kind of find myself hitting a little bit of a wall, and not, I I had been working so hard my entire life just to get that one thing, and then I got that one thing, and I didn't know which avenue to take from there, or maybe perhaps it didn't fulfill me like I thought it would internally. So yeah, there's a lot of nooks and crannies to it for sure.
Yep.
So you had mentioned like how many tournaments you had to play in, like trying to pursue golf, and then going to college and pursuing an education while still playing. Like, what kind of like sacrifices did you have to make to try to keep that lifestyle and to like be able to keep pursuing what you were trying to do?
Sacrifices, leaving my parents. So Thunder Bay to Niagara Falls is, I think 16 hours away, 16 hour drive. So there's that whole, where everybody tends to kind of stay here at home in Thunder Bay. It was a matter of me having to make that sacrifice to, okay, I want to be in the golf industry. I have to go down to the Toronto area to get that crucial educational experience, the golf industry experience, all of that. And then it's a matter of if I wanted to come back home and, work here, or if it's a matter of right now, which is what I'm trying to do, go elsewhere as well. Because it's time, basically. I've been an associate professional at Whitewater Golf Club for about 9 years. That's a long time. And so it's time to take that next step, basically, and not be afraid to. So sacrifices, leaving the family, leaving the community that I know, being selfish in a way too, right? Like, it's wanting what I want and pursuing it, basically. So, but I think that's the ultimate sacrifice is having to leave home.
Yeah, because like I could definitely see the struggles there. I mean, being like a small town guy, like I have never not worked or lived in my hometown, and like now I live 20 minutes away. Now for me to just like pick up and say I'm gonna go pursue a career with Mike down in like DC or something, like in a big city, that is a completely different culture change, and that could that could take a toll on everything, like your mental, like.
And a lot of people are good at it. They're perhaps a little bit more motivated, driven. They got a little bit more energy. But like I said, I'm a small northern Canadian boy, basically, and I've tried several times, and there's I keep telling myself keep trying, basically.
Right.
There's no shame in trying here, trying there. Everybody's different, and
because you don't know, like until you go out there and you get in that environment, you get in that pretty much completely different lifestyle. And I could that might not be for everybody. I mean, you could have just packed your bags and went back home where you were comfortable, but 16 hours away, that's tough.
Yeah. But, I did enjoy it at Niagara Falls. The weather was beautiful. We would golf until December and then pick it back up again in March, which is kind of unheard of here in Canada. So it was, and a lot of great golf courses in the Niagara region. So it was a great experience.
So in our professions, I know we all like to have that sense, that feeling that we made it. So as far as the golf industry, how wide or how small is that gap of feeling that you made it, or you still have a long way to go?
I can attest to myself in saying I still have a lot more learning to do. The learning never stops and never will. Yeah, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, but yeah, that's it's a constant thing in this industry. You're dealing with a lot of personalities and people and politics and um, certain statuses, and every golf course is different. You have public ones and private ones and semi-private ones, and every atmosphere is a little bit different. So, yeah.
What do you think is something that the public misunderstands about skill level of lower tier golf players?
Well, skill level, I can say that you've got to be an absolute freak and dedicated if you want to do any type of tour life. Now, I'm not talking about PGA Tour. I'm not even talking about Corn Ferry. If you want to be on the mini tours to work your way up to the Corn Ferry or PGA Tour, you've got to shoot lights out every time. And I'm talking like your par is not 72, your par is 67 or 66. And I see a lot of guys that shoot 67 and unfortunately don't make it. Which is ridiculous to think about.
That's such a low score to not move on.
Like I was telling Kobe earlier, I had a junior compete in the Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan Invitational, and I believe the winner shot 64-61, and the payout I believe was top 15, and the person that missed out on that 15th place money grab, who came 16th, I think he shot 68-69. So if you can imagine shooting those scores and not making any money or not qualifying for the next championship or tournament, that's pretty heartbreaking, because you're shooting some seriously good golf and not getting anywhere.
Yeah, you're going back into the clubhouse with those rounds posted, thinking like, oh man, we got a really good shot here. Maybe not even 15, but we could be like coming up on that top 10, and then just being right outside that money cut line is
brutal.
For the weaker golfers, like the ones that are higher handicaps and the ones that are just starting out, my advice my advice would be to at least practice once during the week and play twice during the week, whether that's on a weekday or weekend, wherever that falls. But practicing has to be a part of the regimen. It can't just be about going up to the first tee and trying to shoot your lowest score, because 9 times out of 10 that'll never happen. So practice with a purpose is what I always say, or have a purpose while practicing, whether that's long game, short game, bunkers, you name it. And also seek a PGA professional in your area. It doesn't have to be anything overwhelming or anything like that. It could just be 1 lesson here, 2 lessons there type of thing, or maybe look into a package. But that's my advice anyway. And you'll start to see signs, and you'll start to enjoy the game a little bit more.
Yeah. Actually, I'll be having a lesson coming up next week with a club professional. He was a club professional at the course I grew up on playing. I mean, I've been golfing around him since I was 13 years old, and now I'm going to get another lesson from him 20 some years later. I want to see. I'm actually really excited to get back in there, and I just want to get out there and play. I haven't been playing much. Just sitting here talking about it, I'm like, I'm about to go grab my club right now and get out there. But
it's I mean, that's what we're there for, right? It's I always get excited when somebody asks me a swing question or wants to hang out for an hour or two, and and we start to experiment and explore, and then all of a sudden we've found something, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just it's just a matter of doing the work, basically.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you don't, you're not going to see the science, basically.
Yeah. So, Chris, did you ever play alongside players who went on to become big names?
Yeah.
What stood out about them?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, that Ontario Amateur Championship, I got paired with Mackenzie Hughes in the final round, which was an amazing experience. He's won several times now on the PGA Tour. But I was actually lucky enough to get a sponsor's exemption into what was then called the Stahl Foundation Open. That was on the PGA Tour Canada. I believe it was back, I want to say 2015, 2016. We had about a 5 or 6 year spurt where the PGA Tour Canada came through where I am right now in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. So, and the club I worked at as an associate professional was the host. Because of my extensive work with junior golf, I did a little bit of an essay and slid it over to the PGA Tour Canada. It was an essay. It was kind of like a sponsor's exemption letter. They loved everything that I wrote about and what was in it, and gave me a spot in the championship. So,
wow.
What was cool about that, I played with other local players in that tournament, which was completely fine. We kind of, it was a threesome. We were all paired together and we were all kind of cheering each other on and motivating each other. But in the tournament itself, there was Corey Connors, Mackenzie Hughes, Ben Griffin, Taylor Moore, JJ Spawn, not everybody, but a lot of players that you see on the PGA Tour right now competed in that event. So even Grant Fuhr, ex-NHL goaltender, competed in that championship, which kind of brought a little bit of a celebrity spiciness to it.
Yeah,
sure.
Which was kind of cool. And those 5-6 years that tournament came through here was such a fun time. And I miss it.
Yeah. So to get back into like your playing days a little bit, like what was, like you said, like you never missed a round, you never missed practice. Like what was like your typical practice? What was it, just going out on the range trying to find a swing, like, or going out on the course, like putting yourself in situations that, like tough flies or something, just to learn how to hit a shot like at the time needed?
A lot of it with myself was short game.
Okay.
Chipping, pitching, and putting. I don't want to toot my own horn here, but I feel
go for it.
I feel like I haven't missed a fairway since 1996.
Okay.
So I know my swing is pretty accurate and pretty, it's accurate most of the time, and that's my strength. But my short game, because I'm not a long hitter, I only hit it about 260, 250, 260 if I'm lucky off the tee.
Yeah.
I'm a small guy. So my short game, chipping and pitching, saves me a lot. If I miss a green here and there,
sure,
I'm confident that I can give myself a chance to save par, regardless length of the hole. So I focused a lot on my short game. That's where you save your strokes. That's where you save your shots. And that's where your scores actually tend to improve, is getting up and down 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of course and game management.
That was going to be my next question about course management. Like, if you know your strong suit is your short game, then you can kind of work your way in, like where like
plot yourself.
Going for the pin might not be beneficial, but leaving yourself just short and giving yourself pretty much and nothing's guaranteed, but a guaranteed up and down for par, and you just get your par and move on to the next hole.
And that's exactly what I would do. I would hit to the fat parts of the fairway. I would hit to the fat parts of the green. The pin might be tucked left. I'm hitting to the center of the green. You'd be surprised how just hitting every middle of the green, no matter where the pin is situated, hitting to the middle of the green every time is more beneficial than trying to attack everything. I know most of the time I'm not going to 3-putt. I might every now and then, but for the most part, I think my putting is a pretty good strength of mine. So, fairways and greens, baby, is what I know. And not everybody will say this, but I take accuracy over yardages, over hitting far any day. The game is meant to be played. It's meant to be accurate.
Yeah.
It's a game of accuracy. It's a game of misses as well. Like how good are your misses? Like I said, I feel like I haven't missed a fairway in a really long time. So I'm eliminating the rough. Right.
We'll go back and look to see the last time you did miss. So I got all the data right here. I'll go back and run through the numbers, but
we'll do a live show and you'll witness it.
All right.
But it's a short game and course management.
Yeah, and that's probably good advice for amateurs to improve the game, because it seems like with how far like the golf equipment has come, like hit the ball farther, and you got guys like Bryson who were just out there hitting 340, 350 every time off the tees. But yeah, you got to be able to just maybe find like a consistent miss.
You can attack this game many different ways. And what Bryson was doing, I'm not going to say it was incorrect. It was different, but if you can do it,
right,
why not, right? But, the game of golf, you can approach many different ways. There's no right way. There's no wrong way. It's just whatever your score adds up to at the end.
If you're putting up solid numbers, I mean, there's no reason for someone to especially guys like me who are just watching on Sundays, like, oh, I don't like the way he's doing that. Like, well, we're on the couch and he's out there.
Yeah, but we're allowed to be the critics.
Yeah.
We're allowed to be judgmental all we want, right? But that's just the nature of it all. But we're just envious.
Cool. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So moving into life after competitive golf, I know earlier you spoke about transitioning from professional golf. So when you're finally, at that point of stepping away and moving away from professional golf, why do you think you would decide to really hang it up? What do you think will be, the reason for you to really step away?
Well, playing wise, the kids are just getting way too good nowadays. They're stronger than ever, just like Bryson. They're hitting the ball further. I'm getting older. I'm not getting stronger. But I still got it. And the club professional aspect of it all is, it can be, some struggle with it and some are really good at it. Every experience is different. And I think it's a matter of, for me, not putting too much pressure on myself, no matter what club I'm at or where I am in the country or where I am relocating or anything like that. I think, it's easy for us to overthink things, whether it's life situations or playing golf or what have you. I think that's been kind of my Achilles heels in the past, is overthinking and kind of panicking, like, oh my God, I'm 20 hours away from home. I just want to see my parents once a week.
Right.
I'm a family guy. I'm 38 years old, but I still love my parents, and they're getting into their 70s and their health isn't the greatest. So, that again, it all plays a role. So, but again, it's a matter of me not giving up and keep plugging away at it. So I think next season you fellas will see me elsewhere in a different city and different location at a different golf club, and the positivity will be right where it should be, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I know when you're not competing or in any off the professional scene, how do you still stay connected and involved with the game?
Yeah. So if I'm not playing professionally or competitively, I love running tournaments. I love being the tournament director, tournament operator. Setting up the atmosphere for the day, setting up the tent on the first tee, or announcing the players on the first tee as they hit, and rules officialing throughout the day, and then doing the scoring afterwards. It's a long day, but it's fulfilling in my heart, basically. Um, you know, so and I actually kind of get a little bit of those competitive juices off the players, and I start to feel it as a tournament operator, and I really enjoy watching others compete as well, and trying to strive to their goals. And I I deal a lot with junior golfers, and when they're towards their end of their junior career at the age of 17 and 18, a lot of them are pursuing colleges as well, trying to get on college golf teams and pursuing education. And the good ones, a lot of them, they want to go to where you guys are in the States. And, whether it's Florida or the warmest state there is, that's where they want to go.
Where you can golf every month of the year.
But I know for a fact, Cobe, like where you are outside of Columbus, there's amazing programs in Ohio, in DC and Maryland, Mike. I don't think the northern states gets enough credit for what they do. Minnesota and Michigan and Wisconsin and all those states, they have a bunch of programs that are really beneficial for all kids. So that's
I think up in Akron, just like 40 minutes from here, we have a first tee program up there. And I could be wrong, but I do think that is fairly new. They could have a long history. I don't know for a fact, but I do know there is something up there, and it does sound like it's becoming a more and more popular thing too.
Yeah, we're heavy. We're heavy into the first tee here where I am. I want to say about 4, maybe 5 years ago, myself and my partner, she's the Golf Manitoba president, Sue Kassan, we were awarded the program, one of the first in Canada, definitely one of the first in Ontario. With all the work that we've done over the years, before we were awarded the program, we were going into elementary schools, teaching golf in their gym classes in the middle of winter. We would decorate their gymnasium. The first tee, I know I can say for myself, has given me an identity and a purpose, and it's definitely ignited a passion in me as far as coaching goes. It's a really cool program. It's geared towards underprivileged and underprivileged associations and organizations. A lot of youth community centers, you name it. We've done a lot of multicultural centers as well. There's the Thunder Bay Christian School, which we've had a relationship with over many years. So I think the First Tee program is probably what I enjoy the most. And, it's a lot of fun. And we make it so it's fun first for the kids and learning second. So they're kind of learning unconsciously as they're having fun doing the activities and whatnot. So the First Tee holds a special place in my heart for sure.
Yeah, I mean that definitely sounds like a perfect place for a kid. You know,
Oh yeah,
like
for
you said,
sure.
like for them, they're just going out there, enjoying themselves and playing. But like you said, subconsciously, they're learning the game. They're picking up on things, and
We
for you, like starting at a young age, I feel like that's probably come like full circle for you, pretty much. And that
totally.
so that's awesome to hear.
I remember when I was a junior golfer seeing the first tee on the Golf Channel and saying, wow, that is a really cool concept. I hope one day I could either be a part of it as a player or hopefully it comes to Canada sometime soon. And it did. And I've got nothing but gratitude for it and a lot of fulfillment from it. And, I put the first tee program first on my list of things to do, and everything else comes after that. So I make sure that the program goes without any, you know, without building momentum, basically, is
Yeah.
what I'm trying to
Mhm.
say. And every year we seem to do that with the program. So it's a lot of fun.
So, being a junior coach, what advice would you give to young players that are pursuing or thinking about pursuing a or turning pro?
Yeah. Well, not to do so right away.
Yeah.
If that's being a playing professional. Um, there's in my mind, there's a certain process, a certain resume, and a certain way to go about it. I mean, it all
Mhm.
starts with your junior golf career. How good was your junior golf career? If you've won 20 times and you won a couple state junior events and whatnot, okay, perfect. We're
Mhm.
now on the right track. How good was your amateur and college career? Right. Okay. You won a few times there. Maybe you won a state college championship, NCAA tournament, what have you. Okay. That's another sign to keep moving on to the next level. So what what I see a lot of is young kids and young guys saying, you know, I'm going to turn pro, and next thing you know, it a year later or 2 years later, they come right back.
You're right.
Um, so I think there's a certain necessary playing protocol, and then there's a certain necessary off the course protocol, like mental coach, fitness instructor, uh, dietitian,
Yeah.
um, your family.
Mhm.
Um, you know, you have your whole team that you have in place that keeps you focused and in place. If you don't have that team in place, it comes that much harder, in my opinion.
Sure.
So it's you don't want to squash any junior golfer or kid that says they want to turn pro,
Right.
but it's a lot of work. It's fun work,
Mhm.
but you got to be freakishly dedicated for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
and have the results.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. It was an absolute pleasure for you to
Yes.
come on and just share your story, like talk about the grinds, the struggles, life after golf, and now it coming back full circle with you instructing kids. And also anybody that might be interested in the First Tee program, we will have a link in the description if you want to check that out. It sounds like they are wonderful folks doing great things out there. But
Yeah, I definitely learned a lot from this. I'm new to the golfing world, so I was definitely excited to have Chris on today. So yeah, it definitely was a pleasure.
No, I thank you guys. Like I said at the start, you guys have been doing great work, and keep the momentum going. And I hope we can do this again soon. The Ryder Cup's coming in the near future in a month.
mhm.
I hope you both can tune into the Tour Championship this weekend. The FedEx Cup champion will be crowned, and we don't know who that's going to be
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
because this year it's a little different.
Yeah.
Seems like every other year, excuse me, is different with the format. So definitely tune into that, boys. Somebody's
sure.
going to win $10 million, and we don't know who that's going to be, but
No.
I
I know who it's not going to be. It's not going to be anyone on the panel today, but
anybody well, I thought you were going to go anybody but Scotty.
well, I'm tired of rooting against him, man. He's just too good.
If you had to pick a player, Kobe, who would be your pick?
Oh, who?
You only get one. You only get one.
Okay, and I love a good feel good story. This guy, he's involved in YouTube golf quite a bit, which I enjoy watching. He is on Team Europe for the Ryder Cup, but I'm putting it down right now. Tommy Fleetwood to win the Tour Championship, getting his first win on the PGA Tour when it matters the most. Now that would be cool to see. That'd be really cool to see. And you know what? I think nobody would be mad at that pick. No, or at that winner. The way his story's been going, it seems like there's a guy in every sport you pull for, and I think Tommy has cemented himself as that top guy. Like, man, we just need to see Tommy win one. He's so good out there, and it needs to happen. I'm gonna go. Oh, I gotta look at the leaderboard. Hang on here. While we're recording this right now, round one has concluded. So, yeah, it. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go with Rory McIlroy. I mean, Russell Henley is 9 under, but McIlroy's 4. But I don't expect Henley to hang on for too long. So, and actually, looking right now, Tommy's 6 under. He's 3 back right now. Yep. So and you mentioned earlier, you played in a tournament with Ben Griffin. He's sitting right there, T8, 4 under. I do. I have a funny story about Ben Griffin. So when he won that tournament here in Thunder Bay at Whitewater Golf Club, the Stahl Foundation Open, I believe that was his first professional win on the PGA Tour Canada. And I remember I was exhausted after that day, after the Sunday. And a couple of us went to go have a drink at the local hotel, big fancy hotel here called the Valhalla Inn. And we walked in, it's probably around 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and there was Ben Griffin buying drinks for all the players. Yeah. Basically. And I went over and shook his hand and said congratulations. And he was nothing but a nice guy. So it was pretty cool seeing, there was probably 10 players or so. That's cool. All sitting together. Mm-hmm. There was Ben right. And that's what you want to see. Like, yeah, out on the course, it's all competitiveness. Like, I need to beat this guy, this guy, this guy. And then, you walk off 18 into the clubhouse. It's, hey, man, you played great today. And what was really cool about it, it was nothing rowdy about it. It was just very cordial and relaxing for them all. And it seemed like a really cool time for them. So yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. But thanks, boys, again. I hope let's talk about the Ryder Cup in the near future. And for sure. We'll go from there. Yeah, definitely. I imagine the coach's pick should be rolling in, I'd imagine, pretty soon. So we'll see who takes up those last open spots. But yeah, thank you again, Chris, for coming on. Yeah, I can't wait to do this again. Yeah, same guys. Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right. Well, that's it for us. We will see you guys later. Keep swinging.